Michelle, and y'all have heard a little bit about my company, or not my company, but the company I'm with. We're the Renewal Workshop. We're outside of Portland, Oregon, and today I just want to talk to you about the apparel industry, the circular economy, and what we do. So I'm a little nervous. So like we've talked about today, the apparel industry is super linear. We take, make, oh, can you not hear me? No. We take, make, use, and waste. So that's that linear economy that Kamal talked about. So that waste, where does it all go? Right now it's going to Goodwills, ICOs, and landfill. And the problem with the Goodwill is only about 20% is actually kept and resold, and that other 80% is typically going to ICO or landfill. So, and the problem with ICO, like we talked about, it's, a lot of countries are banning that. It's keeping their economies down, and it's creating a bunch of waste issues for them as well. So why are these the only options for brands? It's because the management cost of this waste is way too high, and they're businesses, and that's their main goal is profits. It's a huge warehouse and shipping cost, and the disposal cost is also higher than they want to deal with. So we came in and we saw this issue as people who have been in the industry for a long time. What we do is make it easier for apparel brands to deal with their waste. We like to call ourselves a waste management solution. And we operate on a zero waste model that recovers financial value into these already made products. And we enable a circular economy for the apparel industry. So what we do, we take all these unsellable goods, whether it's factory defects, customer returns, warranted product. We bring it into our factory where we clean it using a waterless technology. It's a Tersis machine, if any of y'all have heard of it. It uses a liquid CO2 to basically take out all the dirt and whatever from the product from the inside out. And it doesn't have it comes out dry. So it's completely waterless and completely sustainable. And then it goes into our repair department where we repair anything that might be wrong with it, zippers, buttons, holes, stains, and co-brand all of our products so that they're sort of like certified now as renewed product. After that, it either goes to our online website or a retail solution, or a lot of the times we do like a third-party a white labeled solution of a website that it's specifically for this brand. I got backwards. I went backwards, So our renewal facility, like I said, it's in Cascade Locks, Oregon, about 40 minutes outside of Portland. And you can see up here the Tersis. It's a huge machine. It fits about 50 pounds of clothing at a time, and it takes about 45 minutes for a wash. It's pretty cool. I like to bring my own clothes in sometimes. And we've got our repair techs. We've grown immensely in the last 2 years. It's kind of crazy. Our kitchen table's not big enough anymore. So basically what we're trying to do is what the auto industry has done for itself. A lot of brands every year, like we've heard today, there's these 52 seasons a year where you're just constantly creating more and more and more to create more profit. And of course, that's what a business wants to do. But we're trying to convince brands that instead of getting that profit from creating new, they can take the product that they've already made and find more value in it. So we're kind of like a certified renewal partner for our brands that is allowing them to regain that value. And so here are some of our brands. One of our newest and biggest is the North Face. If any of you have seen the NorthFaceRenewed.com, that's us. And we also have a ton of other outdoor brands, and we're moving into more lifestyle and designer brands like Mara Hoffman. We talked about Koyuchi earlier. We don't actually sell their product online or anywhere that you might see. We take all of their lease subscription product that they're doing, renew it, and then sell it back to them. And they sell it through their Point Reyes store down in California. And that's going really well. People are really responding to it. People who maybe couldn't get in on that brand price level at the new price can now buy Koyuchi at this renewed price and feel good about it. So our sales channels, we have trw.com, where we sell most of our brands. It's just like a big platform treasure hunting site where you can go find hopefully your size, the color you want, the brand you like. And then we have third-party retailers like REI. You can go check that out at lunch. And a couple other boutiques around the country as well. But then there's also brand renewed sales. So I work with brands like Toad & Co. specifically. We sell their product back to them, and then they sell it in their own retail stores and are starting to move towards selling it on their own websites as well. And then our digital sales, and one of our biggest offerings is our the technology side of things. We can completely white label a website for a brand so that they can then sell the product on their own and get it to their customer base, which is much bigger than ours usually. So these are some examples. Lizard Lounge down in Portland, if you all have ever been. They're actually owned by Toad & Co., so that's kind of like a partner sale solution. Online marketplace. This is a quick example of our website. We've got, we usually use a pretty standard Ibex long sleeve shirt, but sometimes if we've got product data directly from the brands, we can really get their name, and then their core customers know that product and can search for it. Our shop and shop at REI, which you can go check out. And then the branded microsites like the North Face Renewed, where we do the renewal, the customer service, the fulfillment, everything on the back end, and all they have to do is market it. So a lot of the times it can't be renewed, and we are a completely sustainable, waste-free, zero-waste business. So we partner with a network of companies that can upcycle, recycle, and hopefully turn things into yarns that's going to become more product. Looped Works is a great example, and a lot of times we do in-house upcycling as well. Like Rainy Past, you just mentioned delamination. We had a delaminated now rain jacket that we upcycled into a duffel bag. So cool stuff like that. And a lot of times that's very expensive, so that becomes a more of a marketing one-off sort of situation. But sometimes we actually find more value in the upcycled product than its original product. So like a mountain khaki pant that originally retailed for 80 bucks, if I take it and put a cool patch on it and splatter it with some paint and make it new again, we can then turn around and sell it for about $100. So another service that we offer is research and development, which a lot of brands can't do and don't have the infrastructure to do themselves. So we're partnering with a lot of brands to do the R&D for our brands. So as you can see, we've been around for about 2 years now, and this is the impact of renewal. We're saving pounds and pounds of waste from landfill, gallons of gasoline saved, swimming pools of water, and tons of pounds of chemicals that go into creating new instead of renewing. So another service we offer is a lot of data for our brand partners. So they don't know why their product is being returned or damaged or not, getting the full lifespan out of it. So what we do when we get in their product is have a really intricate system where we track everything with a unique SKU from start to finish. So we can see, we can tell them like, hey, we've seen this same dress over and over, and we're seeing the same damage in the same spot. So next time you make this dress, you might want to look at that. or this fabric type is pilling very easily, and that seems to be the reason we're getting it back. So we offer a full range of services for our brand partners, and we're really trying to encourage more brand partners to get on board and to think of renewal as a true option for profits. Well, that's it. I'm Michelle, if you have any questions.
Thank you. I'm Tony Shumpert. I'm with Value Village. That's actually a two-part question. It's funny, we all are in this space, so it's kind of like talking to the bird. But two things. Doing the right thing is sometimes not always easy or inexpensive. So the two-part question is: I noticed many of the brands. Is there some price threshold? I don't see, for instance, Gap t-shirts up there as an example. And then number two, you guys are in a unique location down in Oregon. It does take stores to actually carry out a lot of what you do. Can you talk a little bit about how easy it's been or how hard it is to access that labor pool given what we have in North America, which is not too many stores?
Nothing. So part one, yeah, we do definitely have a price threshold that it doesn't make sense for us to renew an H&M t-shirt, for example. So they're actually someone we're talking to, but we would be more of a recycling solution for a brand like that. We have an extensive network of recyclers that we're working with, and because a lot of, I'm going to keep talking about H&M, but their product is specifically blended product, it's really hard to recycle that. So we're trying to prove to recyclers that there is a demand for this kind of development, learning how to break down that stuff. But yeah, for lower price brands, renewal is not an option. We're a recycling resource. And then yeah, Cascade Locks is a one-horse town. It's been difficult to find SOTEX. And we've been lucky enough to get some grants for training, but it's still very difficult. But Cascade Locks, we chose that location. One of our co-founders is from Hood River, which is 20 minutes outside of that city. And we wanted to kind of swoop into this small town and save them from Nestle. Nestle was trying to build a water bottling facility there and nobody wanted it, so we figured we should just take the space instead. But we are definitely going to be expanding globally to better suit our brands and their needs. And there's also the factor of shipping. We can't be shipping back and forth. That kind of defeats the purpose. We want to keep our carbon footprint very small, so we have to create these facilities all over the world, and preferably right next to existing factories. So that's definitely something we're thinking about as well. If you know any SOTEX, though, send them our way.
So that is awesome that you helped replace Nestle bottled water. Wow. So the previous speaker and you both have mentioned this issue about the original fabrics and, like, say, the original specialty buttons or zippers or things like that. Do you, since you're working so closely with brands, do you have a way to have them give you a supply of each of the fabrics and specialty items and threads and whatnot?
Yeah, so we are very fortunate to have a relationship with the brands. We don't renew anything that we don't have a partnership agreement with the brand for. So they do send us trim whenever we need it. And a lot of the times if a product isn't renewable and it's actually bound for recycling, we will harvest materials so that we can use them on stuff that we can repair.
Hello. So I was really interested in the cleaning process. So how you're using CO2, I mean, we've got plenty of it. How is the technology actually harvesting CO2 from the atmosphere?
So we get a delivery of CO2 tanks. I don't know where they get the CO2 from, but the CO2 tank hooks up to this machine, goes into the chamber, gets pressurized, into a gas, at the liquid form, it combines with a detergent like a regular wash cycle, cleans the product, and then the chamber pressurizes, turns it back into a gas, and we reharvest it. So out of a single tank, we get multiple wash cycles, and our only waste is that little bit of dirt and detergent, which is like a bucket full every 5 months. It's very little waste.
Just wondering about FTC regulations about labeling. When you do use something, if it doesn't have the original label in it, or if you alter it significantly and you change the fiber content of what you're using to renew it with, do you relabel? Are you required to relabel? Has this ever come up as a topic?
Well, since we partner with the brands, we have their labels to put back in if we need to. We aren't altering the fiber content. So the definition that we have set for ourselves of renewal is to restore it back to the brand's intention. So we're not changing anything unless it is part of our remade collection. But even then, we're using, if I'm patching something, I'm patching it with their materials. Does that answer your question? No.
This is a Federal Trade Commission question. There are regulations about labels and what they can say and what they can't say.
We have,
I'll find you later.
okay.
Any other questions?
I can speak loudly. So, do you envision this problem of everything going to landfills instead of textiles, that you could be kind of a stopgap of going, from, say, the Valley Village, things that they can't sell, could they come to you? And then you could maybe sift through, find the diamond in the gold mine, that could be part of your renewal, and then the rest, you could be the one that sends it off to a recycling place.
That is something we have considered, and we have had conversations with Goodwill. We are working really hard to create partnerships with the brands specifically. So working with a Goodwill, we might get brands that we don't necessarily have a relationship with. So in those cases, we would probably recycle the product or potentially harvest a zipper or something, but we'd have to sift through and find our brand partners and then recycle the rest. Or try and develop a relationship with those brands if we're seeing a lot of their product come in, which is something we do a lot. Because a lot of our brand partners don't necessarily just send us their product. They have, like the North Face has programs where they take anything to save it from landfill, so.
I was curious about your online store and how you manage your consumers' expectation of the product that they see as the visual representation of the product that they may or may not get because it has a patch, and how you manage the photography and the copy of the description of the repair of the piece. I haven't been on your site, so I'm not quite sure, but how you keep that cost down, because it's could be a really kind of going down the rabbit hole of trying to describe how extensive repair the piece was, and that being attached to the product that they actually receive in the mail, and managing that expectation from the consumer side.
Yeah, so our system, which has been completely customized, it's tracking a product through the entire renewal process. And every time something is done to that product, it is updated in our system, and then attached to those repairs and different processes, there are little icons on our website that you can see, like this had a broken component or a stain or whatever. So it kind of just happens naturally throughout our process and is pretty low cost to us. The thing that has been the biggest issue and the biggest cost is the photography. We do shoot everything, and I started in that role, so I shot every single product. But what we're finding is that because so much of our product is perfectly good, and about 60% of it is as is, only needs to be cleaned, there is no repair needed, we can shoot a product once, and if we get multiple of it, we don't need to shoot it again. So that's been saving us a ton of money.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.